I had already been in prison for 3 years when they moved him into my cell. After 3 years, you start to forget things. I no longer dreamed about my wife's face. I dreamed about water dark, slow-moving, endless. The kind of water that takes things and never gives them back. The new man who moved in was polite. He introduced himself, folded his clothes with this meticulous care, and always said thank you to the guards. He was the kind of man you find yourself trusting without even realizing you've done it. A quiet presence in the small, suffocating space we shared. The first night, he looked over at me from his bunk and asked, "So, what are you in for?" There was no judgment in his voice, just simple curiosity. I didn't see the harm in telling him. The whole world already knew. For killing my wife, I said, the words tasting like ash in my mouth, same as they always did. He just nodded slowly, as if he was confirming something he already suspected. Then he said something that made the air in the cell go still. "You didn't do it." I let out a short, bitter laugh. "Tell that to the court," I replied. They disagreed pretty strongly. He didn't say anything else, just rolled over and faced the wall. A full week went by. We existed in that silent routine that prisons enforce. Wake up, eat, work, eat, stare at the ceiling, sleep. Then, one night, out of the blue, he said her name. My wife's name. Hearing it in that place, from his lips, felt like a physical blow, a knife sliding clean between my ribs. I froze. I had never told him her name. I never told anyone inside. It was the one piece of her I tried to keep sacred, away from this place. She fought harder than I expected, he said, his voice just a low murmur, his eyes fixed on the cracked ceiling above us. But panic makes people weak. My blood ran cold. I slowly, deliberately rolled over on my thin mattress to face him. "What did you just say?" I asked, my own voice barely a whisper. He turned his head to look at me. In the dim, pale light filtering in from the hallway, I saw it. A scar on the back of his hand, jagged, white, and horribly, sickeningly familiar. Suddenly, I wasn't in the cell anymore. I was back in my kitchen, years ago. I saw my wife, shaking, crying, her hands trembling as she told me she'd slipped on the rocks down by the riverbank. I remembered the first aid kit, the antiseptic, the careful way I stitched up the gash on her hand, trying to calm her down. A man had tried to grab her, she'd said. She fought him off and ran. We called the police, but they never found anyone. It was just a random, frightening incident, or so I thought. She trusted me, my cellmate continued, his voice calm, almost conversational. She even helped me look for my lost dog by the river. That was the easiest part. The world tilted, the air left my lungs. The floor, the walls, the ceiling, everything dissolved into a red haze. I don't remember lunging at him. I don't remember the feeling of my fists connecting or the shouts that erupted around us. The only thing I remember clearly is the sound of guards' boots pounding down the hall, the chaos, the shouting, and above it all, his laughter, his chilling, triumphant laughter followed me as they dragged me away to solitary. The next morning, the door to my isolation cell clanged open. It was my lawyer, her face pale, her eyes wide. She was almost running. "They're reopening your case," she said, breathless. "They found him, the real killer. He confessed last night, gave them every single detail, things only he could have known." A wave of relief, so powerful it almost buckled my knees, washed over me. Freedom. I was going to be free. But then a cold dread seeped back in, chasing the relief away. "Where is he now?" I asked, my voice tight. The man who confessed, where is he? My lawyer wouldn't meet my eyes. She looked down at her shoes, at the floor, anywhere but at me. "He's dead," she finally said, her voice quiet. "They pulled his body from the river at dawn. Looks like he tried to escape after he was transferred last night. The river. The same dark, slow-moving water that had haunted my dreams for 3 years. The water that takes and never gives back. That night, they moved me back to my old cell. It was empty now. I lay on my bunk, staring at the same cracked ceiling. And for the first time in 3 years, I slept. A deep, dreamless sleep. It wasn't because I was a free man. It wasn't because my name was finally cleared. It was because I knew with absolute certainty that the killer would never sleep beside anyone again. Thank you for watching. If this story sent a chill down your spine, hit that like button and subscribe for more content that explores the darker side of human nature. Stay safe out there.